Well, hello. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Picture with your friendly neighborhood host. It is me, Carty. We are here in the new space with no sound treatment, with no couch. Because my couch isn't here, you're going to hear a little bit of an echo. But again, as the days go on, I move more and more elements into this space. But I got to tell you, what a journey. What a journey. We're going to do a special Q&A episode today. I haven't talked to you guys for a while, so I thought, why not give you guys a chance to ask me any questions that you might want to ask on this very special. And again, I'm trying to get used to this. My camera has always been there. It's been there forever. And I only have two cameras set up today. I don't have a place to set the third camera quite yet. We're working on it, but wow. What an experience. Welcome everybody who's watching me live. Thank you. By the way, I'm Carty. If you're new, just checking me here for the first time. I appreciate you. New space. What a journey. Since last Saturday, and again, I apologize for the echo. Like, I can literally hear it in my ears, how hollow this room sounds, because there's no sound treatment yet. I don't have sound treatment, and there's going to be a couch behind me. I've built 4 tables in the last week. 4 tables. Painted and renovated 2 rooms. Let's go, Oki. Welcome back for another month. Oki, let's go, my guy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see. You guys are good? How's it feel seeing me in a new room? It's crazy. I'm sorry again because of the no sound treatment. I didn't have time to move my couch. Last night I was doing my setup until 4:30 in the morning. 4:30. So difficult. And again, getting used to this setup, setting up what's behind me here is also incredibly difficult. And where my desk is gonna be and all this stuff. Like, this room is not yet complete. Putting my signs up is another thing. Obviously the Carty sign, my good vibes, my hustle. There's a bunch of things that I still have to do, but the thing that's the most important is sound treatment, because hearing how we're sounding here without the vibe, and also no TV. You guys are used to when I switch to this camera, there's like a TV there that says YouTube, Steve Carty, and Behind the Picture, or whatever show that you're watching. So I'm really just deciding these shots, like this shot here with this camera. I was working on these shots last night until very late in the morning. Also, I have my desk, but this is the desk that I'm going to use when I record YouTube videos. Everything's on wheels, so everything can be moved around. Just before I started, I had my laptop here, but then it was covering my sign. So I wanted to make sure that I could see that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pull this. And then my girl got this from Korea, this crazy bunny. So I decided I wanted to bring this bunny into the shot. We threw a plant behind me like last minute. Again, it's a journey. And building this slat wall, this is custom. We literally, every single one of those slats, I sanded every single one of them and stained them. Every single one. And it also like goes above the door up there as well. So I think it was 72 slats, 72 1x2s, sanding. Thank God I have a hand sander. And the refinishing of these tables. Oh my goodness. These tables, Like, look at the shine on these tables, baby. Who knew that I could make furniture? Who knew that I could make furniture? That's something that I've been doing. Like, I like making stuff with wood. So I made my dream desk setup, and I was going to make a video of just basically showing, like, just doing a desk setup video before I moved, but I gotta tell you, I was so uninspired. I was just so uninspired at that space. I've lived at that space for 8 years, I think maybe 9 years. I was just so uninspired to like record another video there. I was just done. So I decided to film a time lapse of me doing the breakdown. So I have basically a time lapse of me pulling everything off my desk, which looks super sick. And I also have a time lapse. I documented the process. So I'm going to include that in this desk setup video, which will be coming soon. So guys, if you have questions, if you want to catch up with me, which I definitely need to catch up with you, talk to me. Tell me what you've been working on. Tell me what you've been doing. Today, usually I do a masterclass the first weekend of the month. Today's masterclass, we're pushing for 2 weeks because I go to Mexico. This time next week, I'll be in Mexico City. I've never been to Mexico, and it's part of my whole like reset and getting ready for this spring summer, which is going to be crazy, to finishing my course. Whew, a lot of stuff going on. So 4 days in Mexico. I'm going Sunday to Thursday. And no, I'm going Thursday to Sunday. 4 days, Thursday to Sunday. Come back Monday and back to work. So you guys got questions for me? Please hit Command Q if you have any questions. All the commands are working, so you can hit anything that you need to. We got all of my glitches and everything. We got all that stuff working. So I'm pretty excited about the setup and what this whole thing is going to end up looking like once we're actually in there. But today, obviously, I could have just decided to say, no stream today. Let's just save it for Tuesday, but as much as you miss me doing these live streams, I actually miss you guys. I miss the interaction. I miss the Discord. I miss all of that. But the relaxing detox hasn't been relaxing. It's been a detox, but it hasn't been relaxing. I've been like every day till 4 in the morning trying to like refinish this room. These slats though, we did it in 1 day. Had the wood here. I had to paint the wall black. That's another thing. Painting black in an apartment is insane. I don't know if you've ever had to put black paint on a wall, but it's real. So black paint, all that stuff. But it's affecting the sound. Once I get a couch, once I build some sound panels and stuff, we're going to be good. So questions. What's my plans for 2024? Well, Oki, thanks for asking. Oki asks, what are my plans for 2024? Basically, let's start right now. It's go to Mexico next week, record some video, do a walk and shoot of architecture like I did in Montreal, but in Mexico with a 50 millimeter or a 16 or something like that. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to do my masterclass, which is masterclass number 4, where we're getting into business. Super excited about this next masterclass. But again, the masterclass was going to be today, but it's going to be better if I do it in 2 weeks. It's a super important one. I don't want to rush it, and I didn't want to rush it today. Then the next big push is the new stevecarty.com, building out a new website. My website has been needing to move to Squarespace, I'll say, for a while. I've been needing to move my website over to a platform that is more conducive to what I'm doing right now, needing to sell stuff, needing to do digital downloads, needing to have my merch store attached, needing to do drop shipping. Like, for those reasons, I'm going to switch to Squarespace. But I still believe that the two platforms for using, the two best platforms for the internet right now for your website is Adobe Portfolio. If you are just starting, it's super low friction. It's the quickest way to get a website going. Just point your domain to your Adobe Portfolio and it integrates with Behance. Great network. It's definitely necessary. And then Squarespace. If you're a little bit more advanced, if you have a little bit more web savviness, and also you want to maybe sell products sooner, sell prints, sell digital downloads, like that kind of stuff, then I would recommend starting with Squarespace. All right. And also, yeah, I got a sponsor for the first time ever. I got a sponsor. So we're going to start talking about my sponsor this week, which is Indie. We're not brought to you by Indie quite yet, but Indie is a business management software for freelancers. And I am about to switch everything, meaning using Google Drive to share my work with my clients. Now you can use Indie. And you have your own backend with Indie to communicate with your clients and share work. So you don't have to use Google Drive anymore. Mind blowing. And then, of course, client management systems and all that stuff. So Indie is super sick. It's weareindie.com. If you're there already, you can use offer code Carty35 for 35% off a pro account. And a pro account costs $9, or $12, $10, something like that. So you get it for like $5 if you use my Carty35 at checkout. Again, not officially sponsor or even an ad read. That was just literally me telling you that this is coming up. And there's also people who've wanted to use this service already, just because I've sort of talked about it on my Discord that I do have this new sponsor. So let's talk about some problems of some things. My brother is asking me a question. When am I coming to BC? Oh yeah, so then the next thing, I wasn't really finished. The next thing is, after I build the new stevecarty.com, then I'm going to build the Carty Method, my course. That's probably lined up for June. I'll work on my course. I'm going to just intensely work on it for like 2 weeks and film all the modules. And I'll release that. So that'll be something that'll come out around my birthday. And then we're going to do Camping with Carty, which is in July, which you guys can fly to Canada and camp with me. So that's something that I also have to start working on even before the new stevecarty.com, is just really executing that plan. Going to British Columbia, my brother's asking me, when am I going to BC? I'm going to go to BC at some point this year. Like, that's the goal. I'm thinking August, maybe. August would be a great time to go to BC in the summer. I'd love to bring my kids again. I haven't brought them since they were young. Would love to bring them to BC. And then it's September, back to school, which is for me going to be lecturing. Lots of lectures at schools. I just lectured actually on Thursday. On Thursday, I lectured at a university here. And I was going to film it, had a couple of issues with my GoPro. Why is this giving me a thumbs up here when I go like this? I've never seen that before. Anyways, yeah, so I lectured and trying to do that more. So BC less is in there at some point. So James R says, crazy painted an apartment in college black. The only thing worse than painting it back was trying to get his deposit back. That's hilarious. Well, high quality paint is always the rule. High quality paint. And if you're painting something black, you got to use a primer. You got to prime. All right. So questions for me on this amazing day. Questions about the setup. Questions about how I'm going to sound treat this room. By the way, the reason this room sounds so empty is because it's empty. There's nothing in here except for I have the door like open to hide the fact that I have a whole bunch of gear stacked against the wall back there. So that's kind of just behind the door. Will that curtain stay white or will it be a blackout curtain? Not sure. Where will my sign go? Possibly the sign will go right there. But how I get power from there to where it needs to be, because there's only, the big thing about this room is there's 2 outlets. This was a problem. This was a problem and delayed me moving in because I actually hired an electrician to bring in more holes. But because this is a 100-year-old building and it's not drywall, it's actually like wood slats and plaster. Anybody who knows home building, you know, like that's over 100-year-old houses. There wasn't drywall back then. So they would just put thin slats and then they would just mud plaster over top of it. So these walls are like that. So except for that one, which is drywall over top of slats and mudded plaster. So it's a shit show, that wall. And how do I know that? Because I had a contractor here and I know a lot about this kind of stuff. And then, so this is why it's been an issue with like electrical. So there's one outlet on this wall where my desk is, but I had him extend the outlet and put 2 more plugs next to it. So it used to be just 2, now it's 4. The way that my desks are set up is that everything on my desk plugs into 1 power bar, everything. And then 1 cord comes off my desk and plugs in the wall. So I could move my desk anywhere with just 1 plug. All of this, like there's no stands, everything is mounted to this table. So I can essentially like change my set just by moving like this. You know what I mean? So again, the more I kind of get into this space and get used to this space, the more I'll be learning like how to effectively like do that kind of stuff. But this is the dream setup. Like I've literally for since I've started doing live streams, since I've started on YouTube, since I've monetized, I've thought about my perfect setup. I've thought like, what does my perfect setup look like? What does it look like? What is it like? And I had as good a setup as I could make at the place that I was. Let's say that. I had as good a setup as I could make at the location that I was. So in order for me to get to the next level of my setup, I had to change spaces. And again, this is a great exercise, but is only part of it. Because believe me, like when this room is decorated, when it has like a little bit of like my interior design touch, my girl's interior design touch, when I start bringing in elements and getting the light right, it's gonna be sick. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to start filming YouTube videos in here, because just imagine all the different backgrounds. And also there's gonna be the ability to pull down a seamless right here. So I'm doing a seamless system in the ceiling, so you won't even see it on these shots. So when I'm making it, if I get tired of seeing the slat wall, I can. And also I have a white wall right here, so all I need to do is move my desk out of the way and I have a perfectly white wall right here. So the idea for this room was to have multiple different sets, and all I need to do is rotate my desk and I have a completely white wall behind me. So I have lots of different options here. This has been like my dream setup, and I just got to get this echo to stop. So excited about it. And also the tables, you'll get the full tour of what this room looks like once I do my setup video, and I'll show you how I made these tables. I've made 4 tables here. So right now I've made probably, I'll say 12 tables. I've made 12 tables in the last 8 years, and I can make tables now. Like this desk, you can sit on it. My desk holds 600 pounds. 600 pounds. It's 600 pounds. And it's on wheels. Everything's on wheels. So I'm just super stoked about finally, like, I spent so much money. I spent so much money. Again, it's an investment. It's an investment. But when, oh my God, it's an investment. I just keep telling myself that. It's an investment for us, for you. So, you know, you have a nice spot to look at when you hang out with me, and for me. So I have a nice spot to come in and work when I hang out with you. And also, this is my office. So it's nice that this is actually my office. It's cool. And it's my girl's office as well. My girl's desk is right there. I built her the same table. I built 4 of them. So she has the same table. There's a coffee table, and I have 2 of them. So I've kept this table just out of camera, but yeah, there's a table over there too. So yeah, I'll do the whole, Benja's going to be putting together a video for you. I mean, I'll be putting it together, but my editor, Benja, is going to be editing a video that shows all the time lapse of me staining and finishing and sanding and all this stuff. Putting up the slat wall, installing the slat wall, and also the before pictures, so you can see what this room looked like when it was a bedroom. Thank you so much, Morgan. I appreciate you. Oh, so getting used to my layout here, getting used to how everything's going to be set up when I do photo reviews. Oh my goodness. Having this much desk space if I need it, but also being able to just push this table against the wall if I don't need it is epic. Epic. Having a surface that I can frame something, having a surface that I can sit down and do like a YouTube video. Like, also, you're noticing that I'm bringing in my microphone low. Like, my mic is coming in low now. It's not coming across the top. This is something that, like, the ultimate microphone stand is the thing that's like a constant battle. So right now, I changed the configuration of this mic. Getting used to everything. I had issues looking at this monitor, the way that the mic arm was coming. I don't know if you noticed, I'd have to look around my monitor. Now I see both my monitors perfectly with the way that my arm is right now. So more questions for me. By the way, if you're just tuned in, my name is Carty. I am a professional photographer and videographer. Been doing this for 33 years. Which is kind of insane. It's kind of insane, really. If you think about it, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. But thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you. All right. So questions for me? Anything else other than, oh, Giannis. Yana says, deciding to switch to Canon from Nikon. Have I ever shot with anything beside Canon? Hasselblad. I shoot Hasselblad and Canon. So I've shot with Hasselblad. As far as like, I teach. So I see my students using every camera. I see people who are in my masterclass, people who are my mentors. Like, I see every camera. I don't use them, but I see the work from every camera. And I also, I also know what pros use. So pros shoot Canon. If you're looking at like what a pro uses, they use Hasselblad or they use Canon. Like, yeah, are there pros that use other brands? Sure. But switching from Nikon to Canon, yes. But at the same point, it's like if you're a Nikon diehard and you switch from Nikon to Nikon, from like DSLR to mirrorless to a Z mount, I'm sure you're thrilled because Nikon users love their cameras. So it's just like, it's what you prefer. And it's just a tool. It's just a tool, but it has to be a tool that you can rent stuff for. Like, you can fly into any market and rent an R5. You can fly in, go to LA, rent an R5. Go to Miami, rent an R5. Go like New York, rent an R5. Renting Nikon bodies, renting Nikon Z bodies, I don't really rent them. Renting a Leica, maybe at B&H. I mean, at B&H, you can rent anything. Let's be real. You can rent anything at rental houses. But mostly, everybody has Canon. Everyone has Canon lenses. So you become part of like this ecosystem of other pros that have the same gear as you. When it comes time to like, oh my God, I need a second body for this shoot, call your friend and be like, hey, can I borrow your R5 for this shoot? I'll give you a couple $100. Oh, of course. Second body, you know? So I'm a Canon, like, I don't want to say fanboy, but I was sponsored by them. I mean, do I agree with everything that they do as a company? No, absolutely. But do I feel like they make the best camera in 2024? Yes. It like the most versatile, the most ergonomically friendly, the easiest to use, the most pro shit? Yes. It like, who's a close second? Nikon. After that, Sony. You know, Leica makes cameras like, some pros have Leicas, but do they shoot Leica for their pro stuff? Some. But again, it's one of those things, like, shoot by what is going to make you obsessive about photography. When I bought my R5, my photography, I got so into it because this camera is just so next level. And like, all of my work leveled up, all of it. So, and I shot Canon 5D SR, which is a 50 megapixel camera body. So I wasn't coming from like, I wasn't slumming it. I was shooting like a super high-end body, you know? So have I tried the R5C? I have not tried the R5C. If you do a heavy amount of video, the R5C is definitely a thing. If the price comes down on the R5C, I would consider the R5C because it's more of a cinema camera, but it's still a still camera. For me, I would buy the R5C as my standalone video rig, maybe. But then if you're gonna do that, why not go to like the C series? Why not go to a C300 or something like that? You know, like, it starts to get gray, you know? But if you're wanting to have like a hybrid, I would say the R5C if you shoot video first. If you're stills first, I would still say buy the R5, buy like even before the Mark II comes out, and save thousands of dollars and then use that money to buy primes. That's what I'd say. Yeah. I hope that helps you. What do I think about the R3? The R3 is overkill. Personally, it's overkill. You don't need an $8,000 camera. You don't need a $9,000 camera unless you're doing $10,000 days. I do $10,000 days, and I don't have the R3. And also, it's an incredibly great pro camera, but the fact that the grip is integrated, meaning you can't take the grip off, it's like right now it's Canon's flagship camera. It's as high as you go, is the R3. But the fact that you can't take, it's not a grip, it's built in. It's why it costs so much. But the form factor and how now big that body is, because when I shoot video, I take the grip off the R5 and I shoot it because it's horizontal. I don't need the vertical. Always shoot like without the grip on when I'm shooting video because I have a cage that I put on the camera. I have handles and all that stuff. So, yeah, yeah, you just got the R5C. Like Kai, you're blending. You're doing both, no? And again, I'm not able. I would have a better sense, Fabian, as far as what's a better camera, like the R5 and the R5C, and what the differences are, because Kai owns it. I'm sure he'd have like insight for sure. So what else? Kai, Kai, I love seeing your work. You're doing client reels, amazing. I love seeing your work. Everybody who submits, and if you're not in my Discord, there's so many people I talk to. They watch my content. But they're not in my Discord. They're not in my Discord, like utilizing the community. Like you have access to a community of other photographers just like you, and you're not using it. That's insane to me. It's insane, literally. And once you actually download the Discord app, use my invite, put the app on your phone and on desktop, and start hanging out and just chatting and seeing the vibe, like the best people in the universe are in my Discord. You know who you are. So you not using those people, you not hanging out with those people digitally, it's like having a digital garden of photographers that you have access to. So get on the Discord, man. I'm telling you, my Discord is one of the smartest things I've ever done. So more questions? R5's on the wish list. Yeah, I mean, it should be for sure. Your R5 should be on the wish list. It's yeah, I mean, when it comes to low light, Mercedes is saying his 70D. The 70D is a camera that's over 10 years old right now, Mercedes. Like, that's like a Digi 5 processor. My R5 has a Digi 10 processor, Digi X. So, and a different CMOS sensor. So, just how much the cameras have changed just over the course of like the last 10 years is insane. If you're shooting with a camera that's more than 6 years old, you gotta be thinking about upgrading. Even if you're shooting DSLR, and you shoot people, you gotta upgrade. If you're shooting with a kit lens, oh my gosh, please open your nearest window and throw that kit lens out there. Seriously, just toss it. Save your money for glass. I have lenses that I've had since 1995. My 85mm USM 1.8, I've had it since 95. It was my second lens. 50mm, I have an L series 50. I haven't had that one. I've had that for like 10 years now. But I think out of my 7 lenses, 4 of them are L series. 5. 4 or 5, I don't remember. Whew, but thank God my gear is here. Spend money on glass. Glass lasts forever. Your bodies, your camera bodies, they just recycle. And the sad thing is, You'll spend less long term if you spend more on your camera bodies one time. Like the reason I bought an R5 is because now I have one and I've had it since it came out. I got the R5 the month it came out and I paid full freight, meaning $5,999, like $6,000 for the body. The body right now is $3,800. I needed to have it back then. So now people are buying that R5 today, still new, because it's still, there is no Mark II yet. So the R5 still is a new product. So it's future-proofing yourself, where if I had bought the RP or the R, which is already down here, like entry-level full-frame RF cameras. The R was the first one. It's garbage today. Like, it was great when it came out. Today, it's not great. The RP, when it came out, today, you got to upgrade that camera. So that's even now, you've upgraded to RF, but you did it early. And now years have gone by, and the newer sensors are so much better. And sadly, like the replacement for the RP is the R8. The replacement for the RP and R is the R8. But then they threw in the R7, which is a full frame better than the RP. That's something, and it's a newer body. The R7 recently came out, so I would recommend the R7 if someone wanted to jump in. Who else has some more questions? Kai said, I got a basic 50 RF to start on the R5C. What premium lens would I recommend saving up for that would work for both video and stills? In the case when you're spending thousands on a lens, and there's a very specific reason for this answer, okay? There's a very specific reason for this answer. Because you shoot video and you're doing client reels, the lens that you need to save up for that camera is a 24 to 70, or I think it's a 28 to 80, it's called. The RF 2.8. It is hella expensive. And I've seen the work from it. RF, what is that? 20 RF zooms. Why don't I just shoot that? RF zooms. Let's just see Canon's full line of RF zooms. So I think the 24 to 70 2.8, this lens is insane. I've seen results from this lens, and it's, oops, my guide is on. I've seen results from this lens, and this lens is like this big. It's literally like, it's so, not this one. This is the 105. 24 to 70, this one. Yeah, this one. This is the 2.8 version. This lens is ridiculous and would be a good crossover lens to, like, you could, like, if you're spending this much on a zoom and it's a 2.8 and it's an L series, okay, and you shoot video, okay, that's what I'd save up for. If I were you, that's what I'd save up for. Like, that's the lens. You have a 50. The next thing would be save up for an RF 85. Because now it extends past this, right? This is the 24 to 70. You get an 85 1.2, the L series, and then you replace your 50 millimeter STM with an L series. So then you have the 24 to 70, a 50, which gives you the, like, it's 1.2. It's so, it gives you low light insanity, plus with the R5C, the low light capacity there, crazy. And then you get an 85. 100 macro. You know what I mean? You start like, ideally make all your lenses L series if you can, because they last forever. You don't once you buy it, you don't remember how much it costs. You just now have one. The hard thing is remembering that money comes frequently and easily, and you do client work, you bill yourself as industry standard, like properly industry level rates, and you'll be able to buy this gear in no time. Seriously, like $3,000 for a lens. That's like an afternoon, work. So
Question?
Yes, Matthew Sargent. Of course. Yeah, Kai says he's making the roadmap. Good shit. My brother Les has a question. What body should you buy? It depends on your budget, my bro. I would say for you, I would buy an R8. An R8 is what I would try to get first. It's a full frame. This is what I would buy. A full frame. This one. $17.99. This is Canadian. It's a smaller full frame body. That's step one. That's the replacement for the RP. The next one is the R7. Why is this less? Oh, buy this one then. Is this APS-C or is this full frame? Oh, this is APS-C, I think. Yeah, my bad. Ignore this. That's why. Okay, ignore that one. Buy the R8. Yeah, this here. Full frame. Yes, this is what I would recommend starting with. And then you buy the adapter so you can use your existing lenses, but you don't really need, because your existing lenses are not good. Your long lens, isn't that great? I have a 70-200 that I'm going to give you. This is my actual brother, by the way. Speaking to my family here. Les, I have a 70-200 EF lens I'm going to give you. You can use the adapter for that. And then also you need a macro lens, a 100 millimeter macro, so you can shoot like at like a glitter level of your paint work and like at that detail. So yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say, my guy. R8 is what I would buy. Anybody else who's got questions? Getting used to these cameras, man. Getting used to centering myself up. Getting used to how the microphone is coming in. My mic also came from this side. Like my mic was over here and my camera was over here. And now my mic is over here. My mic is over here. My camera's over here. Getting used to it. More questions. So do I have any advice? How's it going, Philip? Thanks for hanging out with us today, by the way. Have I any advice on how to hone in on a niche? Absolutely. I've made so much content on that. Photo, film, dance, composition, art, compositing, illustration. You need to watch my content. I've made so much content on choosing your perfect niche. The ultimate niche is you. How to specialize. Like I've made so many like podcasts, like 2-hour-long episodes. I've made videos on it. Like the most profitable niches in photography I've made podcasts on. So I would suggest, thank you, Jermaine. I would suggest like watching one of my podcasts. Because again, unless you're a submission level member, Philip, which you're not, you can't submit work for me to see what level you're at. Unless you book me unless you join the masterclass, like I can help you like go through the steps to becoming a working pro, you know? And I appreciate the fact that you're here in chat. But like, watch my past podcasts. You hone in on a niche based on something that you would shoot for free anyways. But people want that type of photography. It's not taking pictures, it's making pictures. If you love fashion and style, start testing models, start leaning towards fashion. If you live in a big enough market that sustains fashion, like New York, LA, London, Paris, Milan, like there's so many different variables as to what your perfect niche is. It's impossible for me to just say, this is what you do to hone in on your perfect niche, because it's different for everybody. And when I make content, so the content helps you go through the steps to find your perfect niche, which is different for everybody. And it also is based on the type of work that you're able to create. Are you taking pictures? I'll say again, or are you making pictures? If you're into idea and execution, or are you making photos that nobody wants? Like when you shoot photos, you look at the back and you're like, who would pay me to take this photo? So it's hard. Wow, what's this? These are all things that I've never seen before. And why is it happening? It's like, is it Stream Elements that's doing like when I go like this, it does like a thumbs up? Like this kind of shit. I've never seen that shit before. Are you guys are seeing that too, or am I just going crazy? Oh my gosh, I'm sure it's just me going crazy. Is it me? You two seeing it? You two? Wow, craziness. I hope that helps you. So, and Uncle Stu, I know nothing about Nikons because I shoot Canon. Stu's asking about the Nikon Z8. Let me look. That's their flagship body. So again, if you're a Nikon person, then I'm sure that this camera means something to you. For me, this camera doesn't mean anything to me because I shoot Canon. You know what I mean? But if you're a Nikon dude and you have Nikon lenses, then sure. You know, this is Nikon's competition for the R5. I mean, I don't think it's there, but yeah, this is Nikon's competition for the R5. 45 megapixel, 8K, 6. Yeah, it doesn't shoot raw video though. The Canon shoots raw video, meaning most cameras shoot a series of JPEGs. That's what video is. It's a series of JPEGs. My camera shoots raw data. So it shoots 8K raw, which is why the R5 is so special. So that's my take. If you're asking Uncle Stu on the Z8, it's Apple systems recognizing hand signals and gestures. Thank you, Cinematic Bird. I appreciate you. Yeah, so Uncle Stu, so what's the best clean website template to use within Squarespace or Adobe Portfolio? This is the deal about templates. There's nothing that's perfect. Nothing is perfect. Even like every template is customized. It's customized, bro. And you have to learn how to do the customization. It's not hard, but this is my site. And my site is with Adobe Portfolio, but I will show you what Matthias, which by the way, my template for Adobe Portfolio is Matthias. And I have saved some with Squarespace, but I don't have the answer yet because I haven't finally chosen what I'm actually using for, what I'm actually going to use, what template I'll use for Squarespace. So let's go into the back end here. And then I'm going to, oops, sorry, wrong site. I'll just go to my test site. I have a test site because it's important to have a test site so you can just do what I'm doing right now, which is just playing. And then you go over here and you say themes. If you look at what Matthias, which is the template that I'm using, and see what it looks like as default, you'll see how radically different this is. So this is my template for stevecarty.com. And let's do a little live preview. So this is the template off the dome. Look at what the overlays look like. Look at here at the spacing. And then this is my site. So you can see I've tweaked it. Look at my overlays. Oh, actually, let me go to here so you can see what the overlays look like. So my overlays are clean. They cover the whole photo. So I picked a template that allowed me to do vertical thumbnails if I wanted, but Matthias allows you to do any size thumbnails. Anything that you want, you can do that here in Matthias. I could have horizontal, square, vertical thumbnails all available within the same website. So I chose Matthias because I think that it's the cleanest one. But the kerning, the spacing in between, like there's so much customization that you actually have to do. It's not even a hint of a joke as far as how, yeah, so I've just switched that to Matthias. But you can see like any of them, you have to do that. Ones that I would consider, Ludwig, if you don't have a lot of categories. Marina, if you don't have a lot of categories, very clean. But the reason Matthias is, I think, the best is your thumbnail proportions options. It's anyways, Matthias for Adobe Portfolio, if that's what you're going to use. I hope that answers your question. All right. So 2 thumbs up makes fireworks happen on the screen. Got it. So what size resolution for your uploads? So this is the next things, James, is there are tools to resize and optimize your site for web. What I do is I set everything at 4,000 pixels wide at 100 dpi. So it's going to be full size on a 4K screen, but you run it through a image shrinker. And if you're on the Discord, which I'm actually going to go to my Discord and show you what some of these are. Because one of our viewers said there are some free image optimization tools that you can use to increase your website load time performance. Anything longer than 1 second is too long. So basically I pinned that, and I'm going to tiny PNG, short pixel, kraken.io, squoosh, and image optim. I am going to paste these right now into the chat, which you'll see right there if you're watching me live. If you're watching after the fact, you can hit the chat replay button and you'll see it right there at 2:54. So tiny PNG, short pixel, kraken.io, squoosh, and image optim. Those are some options for resizing your images. That's what I would do, because now they're big, but they're small, and they're optimized for loading. So, and also, yes, Adobe has the option to resize images, but it's the way that you need to resize them. They have to be big and they have to be high quality, but the size of the images have to be small. So I'm also, as I lean into my web development when I get back from Mexico, I'm going to be talking about the exact best way, and I'll make a video about it. So be patient. But again, I have a feeling that it's there's a legacy thing called Save for Web in Photoshop, which isn't there anymore, but you can still do it. It's Command Option Shift S, Save for Web. And what that does is it brings the Save for Web dialog box up, and you can lower the quality to like medium, but it'll still be the same size, but the file will be smaller. So that's one way. I'm going to investigate quality and do tests so you can see TIFF 16-bit, and now this is the resized JPEG for web. And let's see if you can notice which one is which. So that's the goal. And once I get those optimized settings, I'll let you know. And if you can't wait, you can use those tools that I just told you. So, any other questions for me? By the way, if you've been tuned in live, I'm Carty. I'm a photographer. I've been doing this for 3 decades, yo.
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint, so when I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Pharrell Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorites. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
In case you don't know who I be, because, you know, there's too many photographers on YouTube who don't know at all what they're doing. Honestly, they buy a camera, they make 8 photos, they get a YouTube channel, and they start teaching people how to make photos. And wow. I'm not one of those creators. I am just not. So, any more questions? J.M. Graton says, I save for web by file, export, save for web, legacy, and Photoshop. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. So, and Dominic says that the last video I had where I showed my process on how I retouch was super helpful. I will do more of those. I think that it is helpful, and I like doing that type of stream where I'm just working, and it's almost like you're a fly on the wall. You get to see what it's like when I'm importing. You also get to see how I shoot. Like my Lightroom libraries look like contact sheets. It's like, and how I learned how to shoot like that was from Helmut Newton. Helmut Newton shoots like that. He shoots like 100 photos for one photo. Once I learned that from watching Helmut Newton documentaries, like back when I was in photography school, I was like, I've been doing it all wrong. I've been taking a different picture for every shot. And it's like, no. You figure out what the vibe is, and then you shoot until you get that shot. And then you change the vibe, and then you do it again and again and again and again until you have like, 1,000 photos and like maybe 15 to 20 different ideas that you completely shot through. That's how I shoot. So anyways, any more ideas, guys, before we wrap up today? My brother says he needs to go and try to paint something. My brother has made an incredible portrait. He shot the photo when we were up north seeing my mom last year when he was here. And then he painted and like he drew and painted this photo, which is incredible. Like literally, my brother is so talented. My brother is an artist, and literally the reason that I'm a photographer is because I could not do what Opal Customs, my big brother Les, did. Who has a question? Oh, Joss said, I made some outreach this week and with some local furniture designers and a builder to help them promote their work. Do you know any photographer I could refer to learn how to make that work? Yes, Joss. There's a couple of ways that I'd love you to do it. First thing you're going to do is you're going to look at Blacktail Studio. His name's Cam. He's on YouTube. He's probably the coolest. Let me find Blacktail Studio for you. Oh my God, Gene Deal talking about Diddy. What? I know you guys are all up on the Diddy news. So this is Blacktail Studio. This guy has 2.6 million subscribers. Hello. He has 2.6 million subscribers. His videos, 4.3 million views, 1.8 million views. And he walks you through. I watch this guy because I've been doing woodworking and because woodworking is one of the things that I love. He's insane. So Blacktail Studio is one that I would look at in order to get inspiration to see how you cover somebody who's building something. Watch this for the filmmaking and the editing and his voiceover. The thing that makes this so great is you basically can shoot it with like just with little bits of audio of him saying, yeah, I'm doing but you can get him in the studio and record a voiceover while you're editing so he can see the whole, and he just talks over what he's doing and you get perfect crisp audio. That's what Cam does. This is one that I would say get on Blacktail. And then John Malecki, this guy, where is he? This guy, John Malecki. I just found this guy, and John the Builder. This guy is insane. Watch this guy. See how this guy is basically
this shit is just no.
Okay, stop. So this guy, John Malecki, that's the next guy that I would watch. And the way that he documents or has his crew document his furniture, how funny he is, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how you do it. And then the photography side of it comes out of those, like, when he's doing that crazy sand and you get low with like a prime, shallow depth of field, super sharp, deliberate focus on certain things, grinding stuff and sparks flying. Like, the photography comes from the video and it's him actually doing stuff. And then getting those portraits of him with like a sander in his hand and his arms is crossed and he's like standing in front of that thing that he just sanded, like, and he's got dust all over him. Like, that's where the photography comes. So lead with video, use those two creators I just shared with you as inspiration as far as how to approach documenting that with builders, and your life will never be the same. I hope that brings you value. All right, that is a question. So Devin says, when I come to Vancouver, let's do a photo walk. I like to walk with my camera wherever I go. So absolutely. There's Durrell Scott's in Vancouver. There's so many of my people out west that watch me. So yes, I will do a photo walk. And make a little announcement as far as when I'm coming and all that stuff. We'll see if time. I mean, I want to drive across the country, but again, that it might just be a flight and drive when I'm in BC and then fly back. We'll see. There's a lot of boring when you're driving across the country. There's a lot of highway. You're driving across Canada, which is way bigger than America. Don't let anybody trick you. Canada's massive. Way bigger than America. But America always skews the maps and makes it look like Canada's smaller. Any more questions, guys, before we wrap up today? I appreciate you for watching me and tolerating the echo. There shouldn't be an echo, but it's because my couch is not here yet. I haven't moved my couch. By the way, make sure you're following me on Instagram. My Instagram is right here. Follow me on the Insta. And also follow BTP with Carty, which is your Instagram, meaning if you've submitted images, that's where they appear. Vicky Sonic, also known as Alice, who runs my Instagram. She is one of the members of this channel, and she does a great job. She posts every day. So if you want your images to be featured, you have to submit, and you have to be a submission level member in order to have your images looked at by me. Photos of the week get posted to Instagram like that. So that's one way that you can do it. And also, Masterclass. If you are a Masterclass member, we have our check-in happening at 4:30. So make sure that you're there for that. Where's the sign go? Where does the Carty sign go? I don't know if I want to put anything on this wall. I don't know if I'm okay with that door showing. I'm not sure I love this shot. This shot, like, what's going to happen once I close the door? Like, you're going to, like, my gear from here, I have a closet here, so my gear is going to be, like, locked away. Maybe the Carty sign goes up there. Maybe it goes, but if it goes behind me, like up there, it's going to be, like, I'm going to be blocking it. And you'll never see it on this shot. So, what about good vibes? Where's the good vibes sign going? How am I going to power all these signs? I bought USB extension cords because obviously when you have a neon sign, the cord is as long as it is. So how do I plug it in? Like, so I have to get a USB extension cord and I have to figure out how to feed it. Like, it's all got to be very perfectly done. So, and I also have to move my couch. We're going to try to do that today. That's going to help the sound in here considerably. Any help that you guys have or ideas for my setup, leave comments. And remember, I'm back and comments propel this stream. Likes, clips, shares, all of that stuff helps me grow this whole channel. We're trying to help 25,000 photographers make a living with their photography and their creativity. That's my goal. You are one of them. So let me help you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for coming back because I needed a break. And I'm going to see you on Tuesday. If you watched me live today, thank you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all the continued support. Know that the members of this channel are the reason that I'm able to do commercial-free live streams. If it wasn't for the members of this channel, I would literally be not quite a happy YouTuber. If you made it to the end of this episode, do me a favor. Tell me what your dream camera is. What's your dream camera? Do you have it now? Is your dream camera an R5? You're very welcome, James. Is your dream camera an R5? Is it a Z8? Is it a Leica M10 monochromatic? What is your dream camera? Do me a favor, not in chat right now, but comment on this video to let me know that you made it to the end with "This is my dream camera." That's what I want to know. And special bonus, tell me how you're going to get it. Tell me how you're going to get that dream camera. I love you guys. Thank you so very much for your support. By the way, if you have become a member in the last 25, you'll see your name scrolling across the top of this stream. And also, if you become a subscriber, welcome. The last 25 of you, I'm showing you all that love on the bottom of this channel. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm Carty. I'll see you on the next one.